Hello, everybody. This is Jeff Bessa from Charting Horse Value. Got another video today, really focused on features and improvements that have been rolled out over the last week or two on the app, and given another quick overview, very basic tutorial. So let's get started. First of all, here's the app, and up on the top here, you'll see that you can link directly to the tutorial page on my website. I'm not going to click on it here, but it'll open a new link in your browser, on your phone or on your computer. And the website primarily now is going to be about tutorials, blogs. There will be a link to the app for potential new members. So that's a new feature. And if you want to get right to that, you can just click on it right here from the app screen. Also, there is the account tab, which I'm going to click on. Some of this is hidden, but you can see that right now I'm obviously a free member, but from this page, you can change your email, you can change your payment method, you can cancel your subscription if you're subscribed through the app. Everything is now fully integrated through the app. Previously, customers had a membership on my website and then had to start or cancel a PayPal subscription. It was a manual process, and I had to link the two together, and it was difficult. Now it's going to be super easy. Customers can basically control their membership directly on the app. Okay, so let's talk about some of these key improvements. First of all, every single day, I am analyzing data. I'm looking at how did the app do yesterday, and is there anything I can learn from that? And based on that data analysis and improvements, I am modifying and improving the model. The other thing is, as I'm using the app, I'm finding little things that make it hard to use, and you may not even notice all the improvements I'm doing, but I am making some fixes to make the app more powerful. Let's show a couple things. So first of all, right now I'm on Del Mar, Thursday, August 13th, race 5. I go to, say, Evangeline. I'm looking at race 3, okay? Then I go to Indianapolis. Maybe I'm looking at race 6. Now let's say I go back to Del Mar. Notice it comes back to race 5. Before, it was taking you always back to race 1. Now that's over. You can now bounce back and forth between different tracks, Del Mar, Evangeline, Indianapolis, and it remembers where you left off. Okay, so back to Del Mar. That's a very minor new feature, but I think it makes it a lot easier to use. Let's see, I improved confidence some. I'm going to be making some more improvements to confidence, particularly around wagering strategy, particularly for like serial sequences. So I think confidence is going to get better, but I have made some minor improvements to confidence. Where I made the most improvements is on modeled win percentage. I'm actually going to switch over here to trainer jockey because we're going to talk about this horse more in detail, this elite heat. But model win percentage, I made a lot of huge improvements to this over the last couple days. I haven't touched anything in here. Energy, early speed, late speed, PFIG, BFIG, TGR, FWR. If you don't know what those acronyms are, there's another tutorial you can go to on my webpage. But these core algorithms are not changed, but the way they flow through and turn into a model win percentage, that was improved today. Value is good. It helps. Don't get too wrapped up in it. But I think positive value is obviously a good thing. But I would never make that a primary handicapping factor. It's certainly something to incorporate. Let's see. Okay, a major improvement. You see here Elite Heat, and you see this form cycle 3/C1. You might see other form cycles down here like Butterfly Beach, form cycle D. Notice this is in kind of an amber color. Form cycle 1D, form cycle C1, that's first off a claim, form cycle surface rebound, form cycle C2, second off a claim. These form cycles are important, okay? And what I've noticed is when you combine certain form cycles together, you can generate profit. And that's what I'm showing here. This particular combination, third off a layoff, first off a claim, is profitable. And there's about, right now, I think 9 different combinations I'm keeping an eye on that are profitable. I would never blindly bet a combination that's green, but it's a major factor you should be looking at. For this horse, Elite Heat, you'll also see the horses ranked first in trainer jockey rating and first in fitness workout rating. By the way, that combination, green, is very powerful. It's probably the best, most powerful combination you can get on this little page here. Okay, other improvements. You see here, this horse is cutting back. That was in the detail page right here, cutting back. Last 3 races, a 6th, a 6th, the 9th. Now he's cutting back in distance. And if I think that's a good thing for the horse, it's green and neutral, it's gray and pink is favorable. Unfavorable. So this horse, the cutback is not favorable. So I've added that to the front screen. You can now show the detail like this. I like this. I like this particular view where you're on some factor other than win percentage on the sort. Right now I'm on trainer jockey rating. That you have the factor ranks with the rank view. You can also click margin or raw, but I like this rank view because then when I expand the details, I can see the raw and I can see kind of where the horse stands up. This is first, green is first, second or third is gold, and gray is neutral, or not neutral, fourth or worst. And you can kind of see margin a little bit with these scales. You can see fair odds, the trainer, the jockey, last 3 races, Dayson's last race. You'll get a quick take on the horse, and you get all these. So this is a really powerful view, okay? You can now expand the details for multiple horses, okay? And you can then kind of go back and forth with multiple horses. If you don't like a horse, maybe you don't like Butterfly Beach, horses dropping in class, his P-Fig is not very good, definitely needs to drop in class. B-Fig is a 6. The win percentage is a 6. The only remotely positive thing is the fitness workout rating. Maybe you say, I don't like that horse. You could hide that horse if you haven't already known that feature is there. Maybe you don't like Bad Bunny. You can hide that horse as well. And so I think that's powerful. Now let's go back to Elite Heat. And notice I mentioned form cycle. This is a green form cycle. All right. Now in the search page, we have powerful search capability. And in the form cycle codes, I made it possible for combining, right? Before it was just like you could add features and it would show you any horse that has second off a layoff, third lifetime, second off a claim, and it would show you any horse that has any of those, okay? And then you could filter for track, filter for date, maybe letter grade, certain type of race. You could narrow it down. But now I've got the possibility to do and. So for this combination, no horses qualify, but let's say I did first off a layoff, second lifetime. Oh, look, a horse pops up now. Evangeline, race 9 tomorrow. Maybe I want to look specifically for today, Friday, August 14th. And sure enough, Evangeline, race 9 tomorrow. Okay, so I know that this horse meets that combination. I can use this and feature. That's new. And now you click on that and it'll take you immediately to this horse. Before, when you clicked on that, it would just take you to the race. Now it's taking you immediately to this horse in an expanded view, okay? And you can really digest what you got going on for this horse, okay? Now, this particular horse is coming off a 162-day layoff. You may think that's a concern. The trainer jockey rating's third. That's not bad. This horse is an A, ranks first in win percentage, ranks first in PFIG, energy. That's a powerful combo. Got great late speed. Cutting back, looks like cutting back will help this horse. So this is a horse you could really seriously consider gambling on. Going back to the search field, again, you could pick any different combinations. You can do or you can do and, or you can click combo. Combo, again, is the form cycle green combo, those 9 green combos that I'm carefully monitoring. Some of the sample sizes are not gigantic. They're all at least 50, but I really like sample sizes greater than 200. So, I mean, I would use this to your advantage. Obviously, I would never blindly bet horses that meet this, but it's a pretty powerful combination. You could say, well, I want to play Del Mar today. Any of these combinations at Del Mar today? Sure enough, race 3, Curly's Agenda. Click on it. Takes me to the details on race 3, Curly Agenda, and I can decide, do I like this horse? Remember, this is one horse, and you always got to look at that horse in the context of the other horses in the race. But this horse gets a B grade, has 4-1, negative 4.9 of value, lukewarm. You can go down to the bottom line section on the horse. It says not to bet the race to win. And it does talk about Curly's Agenda as a backup horse. It says you should definitely use number 3 Shea, number 2 Circuit Breaker. By the way, I made improvements to this bottom line, significant improvements over the last couple days. So you should see that this performed quite a bit better. Again, I recommend handicapping the race yourself, but if you want a shortcut, you can go down here. So the bottom line works. Going back to the search page, click any code. You can search for different angles. For example, the plus angle at Del Mar today. There's a horse, race 2, Vendetta. This horse has, you'll find these mostly in maiden races. This horse has a FWR of 134, which is really strong. Second highest win percentage in the race, gets a B grade with the plus. These are strongly profitable with good sample size. Again, I wouldn't blindly bet these, but take a look. Look at the context of the whole race. See if you want to bet Mandela and Kazushi Kimura, at 6-1 morning line. That's for plus horses. So this is powerful, okay? You can look at the T. T is a turf route angle. And again, as I add more of these, I'll add more of these. But I'm adding them as I find them. Del Mar Race 4 has the turf horse. Number 10, Zalamo. Let's take a look at this horse. This is B with the T, okay? Positive value, 20% chance win. Look at all the green. I mean, I don't know if the odds are going to stay at 6-1, but this looks like a very strong wager at 6-1 at Del Mar. And of course, you don't have to just look at Del Mar. You can look at Saratoga. There's a horse, high beta. You can look at a different track. You can look at Delaware. No qualifying horses at Delaware today. But what if we take away the date? Okay. Oh, I got to put Delaware back. I got to fix that. This will be a new fix. So as I play with the app, I'm constantly fixing things. But any date Delaware. Looking for the turf route angle. None. Saratoga has quite a few. Okay, so a lot of different things you can look at. I've talked about the search capabilities here before. It's powerful. And I want to make sure you're using it to your advantage. Of course, the races is great, but then there's the reports page. Some customers really like this Excel table. I'm still doing it. You can sort the Excel table yourself, track the data yourself, create your own algorithms, track your results. If you've got the time for that, do it. Or if you ever have a question about data, just send me an email or text, DM me. I'll be happily run data for you. And then you can see the reports. Right now I got on here 5 days, 5 full days of reports always. And then I'm trying to run Saratoga a little bit early. So there's only Saratoga here, 1 track, 10 races on Sunday. And you can see the last time it was updated. So Friday, August 14th was updated at 10:05 Central Time. And this will update 4 times a day for scratches. The next time it updates will be actually at 12 p.m. Central Time. All right. And then it'll update again at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. It updates 4 times a day. And, I might increase that down the road, but right now that's what I got it at. I think that's working pretty well. And that, by the way, we never had that capability before. So now we got scratch updates happening automatically 4 times a day. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Searching. Another thing you can search for is stakes races. So I like to look at stake. You can look at listed stakes races, and let's say you want to look at it today, Friday. So here's where all the stake races today. A couple of quarter horse races. By the way, I do run some quarter horses, but I don't do any data analysis on it. So that's on your own. But some customers claim it works. I don't play them. Pennsylvania has got a couple races coming. Saratoga's got a race 9. Zeitlos. Now you'll see here, CCP, that's the cross country pick 5. Race 5, Zeitlos is in it. I can click on that, take me right to Zeitlos. And you can look at the whole race. You can look at the sequence. This is the cross country pick 5 sequence. I am going to be running these. I'm not going to do every possible one like Delaware Turf. I'm not going to do that. Not right now. But this one I will do, the cross country pick 5s. I'll do those. What else did I want to talk about? Now I am working on a few things for like wagering confidence, and it's a work in progress. Might take me another week or two, but hopefully I'll get something rolled out. That's a thing to be looking forward to. All right, let's talk about Del Mar again. Let's go back to this Del Mar race 5 on Thursday. Okay. And got it sorted on trainer jockey rating. Good. Elite heat. Okay. Now this is the way I like to look at a horse. I like to go through. Okay. Let me just tell you how I use this thing. First of all, I look up here in the pace. Okay. I look up here in this race. It tells me it's 5 furlongs at the turf. It's firm. Confidence is 1.7. It's a hot pace 9. And then I make a decision. Do I want to look at it based on ES, LS, or energy? And based on pace 9, I'm going to look at it based on LS. Now, I don't typically want to look at it based on W percentage because I've already got the W percentage right here, and I know the W percentage rank right here. But I am very interested in seeing, well, which horses have the best late speed given this pace 9? And you'll see that as I go through this, Angelica Bay's got a very good late speed. And then I could look at additional details. And this horse is coming off a 14-day layoff. It's kind of a quick turnaround. Of course, it's cutting back. That might not be ideal. Fits the race at a 73. That's not super high. I can see all the context for this horse. Okay, definitely's got best late speed, best P-Fig, best B-Fig. A lot of positives. This horse could definitely win. Then I go down further. I look at Elsa Dudden. This is first off a claim. Nothing ranks top 3. This is a C without a top 3. Kind of red here. I don't know. Not in love with that horse. Maybe I'll hide it. Here's Elite Heat. Got the green form cycle combo. Definitely want to look at this horse in more detail. Magical Miss. Cutting back. Looks advantageous. 3 strong greens with the B grade. Opening it up. This horse, though, is coming off a 321-day layoff. Okay? So this is a contender, but that might be a concern. Trainer jockey rating is a 6. I don't know if I want to play a huge layoff horse with a trainer jockey rating of 6, especially at 3-1. This horse is a surface rebound. The B fig, though, is not great. Maybe I hide that horse, a toss. Twisted Humor. Let's open these back up for a second. Bottom line is I keep going through this whole thing. This is an E7 with a hot pace. Maybe I hide that horse. Butterfly Beach, another E5 with a hot pace. Dad's Bunny, another E horse with a hot pace. And then Dragon Cat is a toss with a hot pace. Bottom line, I can hide a ton of horses. I could look down here. It says, well, WinBet Elite Heat. And then it says, use Elite Heat, Magical Miss, Angelic Bay. Well, look at that. That's the 3 horses I was looking at in more detail. I also like to pop over to PFig, and that makes me look at the fit. Notice this switched from the running style to the fit. So Angelica Bay is a 73, Magical Miss is a 95, Elite Heat's an 80. I could look at the TJR. This is where Elite Heat is the best. Third off a layoff, or TGR of 1. First off a claim. Got the great form cycle code. And again, the bottom line says bet this horse. All right, so what happened in this race? Well, Elite Heat 1 paid $8.40. Let's go back to the bottom line. Number 8, Magical Miss, ran second. That was a 10-to-1 exacta. Paid $11.40 to $1. Number 12, Angelica Bay, ran third. That was a $42.60 for $1 trifecta. So yeah, we crushed this race, okay? And you can see how you can use the app very powerfully. And by the way, this works great on your phone as well, even though I'm showing it on my computer right now. I do love the bottom line. I'm not going to say I don't like the bottom line. I think you should always cross-reference the bottom line. But handicap the race yourself, just like I showed you. You can do it quickly. I showed you kind of how I view it. Again, I like to view it 3 ways. On one of these ways, depending on what the pace is. A hot pace, I go late speed. Slow pace, I go early speed. Neutral pace, maybe I go energy. Handicap the race, then click over to PFig, look at fitness, look at TGR, hide the horses I don't like, get a feel for what I want to do with the race. Now, one thing about the bottom line that I think is powerful is that, notice there's only 3 horses listed in a field of 9. So this is a race that the app is kind of telling you, you don't have to go super deep. In other races, let's see, another one, race 6, 10 runners. You see, it says pass. It's got 3 horses in the exotics, 1, 2, 3, 4 horses in the backups. It's telling you, you probably want to spread. Okay, so use this to your advantage to get insight. Where do I want to go skinny? Where do I want to go deep? Where do I want to single? I probably wouldn't single a horse unless it's at least an A or a K. Those horses have much higher win chance. Regardless of the odds, the model gives you a much higher win chance. What else do I want to talk about? I do want to talk about BFig. I do think BFig is very interesting. It doesn't apply, I don't think, broadly to every single horse, but it can spike out value. So in this particular race 6, I don't know who won this race, but Dane the Great has a very good BFig at 4.8 to 1 adjusted morning line. That morning line does get adjusted after scratches. So you can look at that with confidence. Let's see, what else do I want to mention? I think that's about it. And again, if you got any questions, you got any suggestions, hey, I like what you're doing here, but can you change this? Can you change that? I can, and I can do it pretty quick. So let me know what you think, and let's have a great day at the races today. Take care.